mute now. Well, hello and welcome to Friday Night Updates. I'm here with Connie. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm really tired tonight and I've got to be up first thing, so it was a really busy day. Not an awful lot of, not an awful lot of bulk, but a lot of big boxes and a lot of heavy boxes. So it was a day. And yesterday I had to deal with a puncture 3/4 of the way through my route. So that was really great. Been a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. I drove into a customer's driveway. I delivered the parcel. I came out the customer's driveway and had a flat tire. And I mean flat to the point where, the van was down in one corner and you could hear the rubber go.
The tire stayed inflated whilst you were driving, but as soon as you stopped, it was like, yeah, okay. No,
Yeah.
I'm giving up.
Yeah. So the van stopped and the tire went, "I give up." Down flat as a pancake.
Well, hey, be glad it was whilst you were stopped, not during the drive.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, got it changed and finished the route and didn't fail the route. So super bonus. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was back up and running in 20 minutes.
Good.
I didn't do it myself. I did have help.
Okay.
So, the boss is saying to me this morning, right, what do I need to get in your van so that you can do it yourself if it happens again?
And you're like, no, put a person in there who can switch the tire for me.
Yeah, give me a pocket mechanic.
Exactly.
Well, I said my first answer was a trolley jack. I can't use that scissor jack for shit, dude. I mean, it's like holy hell. The van, the van is so freaking heavy, right? And you try to jack it up with a scissor jack, but did realise that when I had the puncture last time, I actually put the jack underneath the axle,
Hmm.
and this time it was put underneath the sill. And when it's put underneath the sill, you've got way more room to manipulate the handle.
Yeah,
So it makes jacking it up and taking it back down is super
easier.
easy. Um, She's like, oh, well, you can do that. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't realise I could put it under the sill because I didn't want to wreck it. So just kind of made things harder for myself, but did get it done.
Well, you live and learn.
Yeah. He was talking about getting a different wheel brace, or giving me a longer wheel brace, which means I'll have more leverage.
Always
So,
handy.
yeah, yeah. So, well, I'm only 65 kilos and I'm trying to crack a nut on the wheel. Yeah, not
Yeah.
easy. So the more leverage you have,
Well,
the easier it is.
a metal pipe which fits over the wrench,
Yeah,
so you can extend the arm, thus increasing the amount of pressure you
yeah,
can put on the nut.
yeah. Well, that's basically what I need, because the one that's inside it sits inside a box and it's just too short.
Yeah.
So he's going to see about maybe either giving me an extension of some sort, or actually trying to buy a longer one.
Yeah, but just a metal pipe.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about my business worries. Let's get into the update. We are on week 126 with a ton of Leica improvements and brand new content. Massive list of changes and new content far beyond our usual pace, off the back of an intense period of developer play. Alrighty. Could you take us through the first piece, please?
Sure. So welcome to week 126. After an amazing Leica launch last week, we're keeping up the momentum with a massive week of new content, quality of life improvements, Leica fixes, balances, and more. Now, this is not a typical week, so strap in for a serious read of what has changed. Now, this week comes off the back of an excellent reception to our free Leica update, and we will continue to work on the new features over the next couple of weeks. You'll find new content this week, such as the dirt building tier, the new Arctic MOA, new building pieces, medicinal items, and more. We've also embarked on a project clinic that started last week, with this project steering a lot of the changes you're seeing and future content that we're planning. Now, for more on what project planning is, read below and then jump in and check out this week's changes. So, what does it mean, project clinic? A project clinic involves making our team experience the frustrations you do, and then turning that frustration into direct action and outcome, making a better game. In simple terms, it's a short and sharp period of time where we make rapid changes to the game based on an intense period of play by the developers. When issues are found, triage is done on the spot, and they are either fixed immediately or recorded for future work. An issue is extended beyond the bug to include missing functionality or design and balance problems. Now, under normal circumstances, there would often be lengthy processes to add something to the game. A project clinic is a great way of giving the project its medicine and treating the issues on the spot. Sometimes the project needs a little jolt to shake free the things holding it back. These are only possible when a really intense amount of play is done at senior levels and below, so that it becomes very clear what is missing and what the problems are. And so basically let the people play the game so they can see for themselves the problems and issues there are.
Yeah.
Now
That
the
that we
downside,
that we that we experience.
exactly. And so they know what we are talking about. I mean, we play the game all the time, so we run into issues and problems. Describing it only goes so far. If the developers are actually experiencing the same issues, they know exactly what we're talking about, and they can then sometimes on the spot fix it. Or if it needs a little bit more work, they can actually like record gameplay, and then later on, based on what they have seen, they can like revisit it and fix the problems.
Yeah, yeah. And considering the fact that no two people will describe the same fault the same way,
Exactly.
means that when it's put forward by us, it's like, oh, that's what they're talking about. Okay, get it.
Yeah.
We can make this change or that change.
Like we do when we are going through the fixes.
Hmm.
We're like, I've experienced this issue. This was the issue. Now they fix it in that way.
Yeah.
Now, all good and well, but there are also downsides to such a project. And those downsides are extensive because they can be disorienting for the project and also tend to disrupt usual process for things. However, we have found that done occasionally, this kind of disruption proves actually healthy. It helps shed light on unnecessary processes, and it also forces many in the project to reassess entrenched positions that are not compatible with how the game really is. This all fits very well with our games are played, not made ethos, which is central to the studio's brutalist approach to making video games. Now, another one of the projects, Stationeers, regularly also does project clinics. You can check it out for more details. And if you like the approach to making games, please consider supporting the company by buying their products. It actually gives you a link to another Steam post about a project clinic in the Stationeers game.
Yeah. And there it is there, just to give you a really brief look if you want to go and see it.
Now, clinics help provide a shot of adrenaline into the project and allow everyone from juniors through to our executive team to provide their own experience and feedback that will steer the project direction, meaning a wide range of representative voices are heard. And like Rocket himself played like 60 or 80 hours last week on Leica.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to get like a feel for the update and see what issues are still there, what needs resolving first, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can actually see them sitting in the conference room planning when the next gaming week is going to be there.
Yep.
Right. Okay, we've set that week. That's the week we everybody games. Everybody games.
Yep. And they actually did a stream last week, this week, with a couple of them people from Rocketworks.
Yeah, I'm looking off and looking. I haven't had an opportunity to see that yet. However, I am on 3-day weekend because we have a bank holiday week coming up. So I'm off on Monday. Downside to that is I'm working on Tuesday, so it's going to have to be a 2-hour stream.
That's fine. Now, these project clinics, we have done this a few times in Icarus's lifetime, most notably during the beta weekends and before the new Frontiers launch.
Yeah,
Clinics differ from a regular week to week, as in general, we plan well in advance what we're working on for any given week and the subsequent systems and art that needs to be created and adjusted. This is so we can establish timelines for departments and make sure to balance what is in each patch, given the necessary timeframes to achieve what we set out to do, be it big or small for that update. This week's update is a result of the first week of our project clinic and not only includes fixes for our Leica update, but also lots of small fixes and content additions to other areas of the game that make up a fairly hefty patch. and there are a couple of nice things in there for sure.
Cool.
I
I'm
haven't played it yet, but just based on the patch notes and from what I've seen in Discord about the experimental branch, there are quite a few nice additions.
Alrighty. Okay, just going to have a quick look at this image here. I can see a leopard print chair,
Yeah, but did you also notice
a
the
set of
kitchen benches?
scales.
The
Yeah,
kitchen benches are in a corner.
yeah, I did
There is a new
notice that.
new kitchen bench piece. The corner.
Nice,
Yeah.
excellent.
So
I'm
now you can
noticing.
make corner kitchens, U-shaped kitchens, all that stuff.
Cool. That looks really good. I'm noticing in the background here we have some troughs and what looks like wheat.
Yeah, it looks like this is actually the electronic food trough, which converts veggies into the new food type, which spoils way slower and gives a nice buff to your mounts.
Yeah.
As for the wheat, it might like the corner
Oh, it
might
might be
be the ground level might
pushing
be
through.
above the
Yeah,
concrete floor.
yeah. It's probably just pushing through the wall.
Either of that, or it's crop plots. But the part on the left, yeah, does look like it's clipping through the wall.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also noticing there's a set of scales on one of those kitchen benches and some glass jars and a glass bottle. And that brings me to the chests behind it, the freezers behind it.
Hmm.
They new?
No, freezers have been in here for a long time already.
Oh, they look different. They look like they're concrete as opposed to white because they're up against the
Uh,
concrete walls. They look quite
the
different.
A long time ago, they had the refrigerators changed from no spoiling to very slow spoiling, and they added the freezers, deep freezers.
Right. Okay. And we do. I do believe that that there on the right hand side, right hand side there is a leopard print chair.
That's what it looks like to me as well. Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Alrighty.
haven't seen anything about that in the patch notes though.
Maybe
Actually,
that's a
it might be an animal bed. They have a whole bunch new animal beds, and there might be one with a leopard, where you need leopard vestige to make it.
Oh, could be. Okay. Yeah, very.
But, yeah, it is a very low item compared with the freezer behind it.
Yeah.
So I think it might be an animal bed.
Okay.
Anyway,
Alrighty. This week we have a summary of key Leica fixes. Last week's free Leica update was a smash hit, and we've loved all the feedback, images, and clips we've been sent of you with all your new furry, woolly, and feathery pals. Do note, what we list below is only a brief summary of the major changes. We have made extensive changes and fixes across broad areas of the entire game. These include AI, mission, and rebalancing.
and performance.
And performance, sorry. We have a ton of fixes and tweaks coming this week off the back of great feedback we've received from you all. So we have snow wolves now spawn correctly in snare traps in Arctic biomes.
Yeah, no, I haven't tried to catch any snow wolves yet. I caught a couple of normal wolves, no snow wolves yet. So I don't know what the issue was there.
Okay. Fixed a bug where the mount non-player character movement was stuttering for clients when accelerating.
I've seen video examples of this quite noticeably, yes.
Okay.
I might have it as well, but if I see it, I just attribute it to the generic performance issues. So,
Okay. Okay. When leading an animal with a rope, they will follow at a much closer distance than before. Well, I should bloody well hope so, because they get caught in everything.
I've been leading animals with a hitching rope, and the hitching rope stretching for quite some distance.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you could.
But then they came closer, and they were relatively close. Yeah, this is especially going to be important if you want to lead them through a fortified gate in a spiked wall. You don't want the tames to accidentally run into the spike wall and die because of the spikes and damaging your spikes.
No, I mean, you're leading them with a rope, not an elastic band.
True, but you're also, generically speaking, faster than your mount, than your animal. So if it were a fixed length rope instead of rubber banding, it would mean you're walking through the forest and all of a sudden you can't move no more. And you're like, why can't I move? And then you have to remember, oh wait, I'm leading an animal in a hitchy rope,
Yeah.
and the animal got stuck.
Yeah. Okay. You can no longer instantly shear sheep for the unlimited XP exploit.
So you can shear a sheep once per in-game day, and
Yeah.
then you get wool. You also get some
Oops.
experience. Now, if you have sheared a sheep and you try to shear it again,
What?
you don't get the wool. However, you did get the experience again. So, yeah, this was an exploit which luckily has been fixed.
Okay. Sorry, but I had a couple of glitches there. I don't know what was going on. My screen went a bit skew with. Anyway, fixed issues displaying players' available talents when and their level in the menu.
Not sure what they mean here, though. But then again, I generally don't end up many sessions with talent points still available.
I think I use well at the moment on my new character. I always try and keep one back in case I go, oh, suddenly I want that one.
Or in case they introduce a new talent, which you might want to use.
Yeah, exactly. However, I haven't actually used all my talents in my max character at the minute because I keep forgetting I've got them.
Yeah. But yeah, in the menu, I'm not sure which menu they're talking about here, though.
Could it be the Steam menu?
No,
No?
that doesn't display any character info at all.
Okay. Which menu?
Exactly. I'm not sure which menu they're talking about here.
Okay.
But apparently, for some menu, there was an issue, which they fixed.
We like
That's good.
fixes. We like fixes.
Exactly.
Cats on the planet now keep their original colour when respawned or brought down from space, or sometimes turning grey unexpectedly. Give them such a fright they turned grey.
Yeah, but especially if you have a couple of different color cats and you want a specific color in your open world, so you call down a cat, you look in the workshop like, okay, which color do I need to call down? You call down that color you want, for example, all black cats. All of a sudden
Yeah.
it's a grey one. Yeah, that ain't nice.
Spot the odd one out. Alrighty, fix an issue where mounts that come down from the space station could get stuck and be unable to move.
I've had it actually. In my main open world, I called down a Tusker and a Snuffles from which I sent up from my Styx open world. So I took them out of the pod, and they couldn't move at all. So I put a saddle on a Tusker. They still couldn't move, and actually every time I jumped out of the saddle, I fell through the ground
Oh,
briefly, and then I respawned right next to the Tusker.
oh
Um,
dear.
and I was also like, yeah, so now if I want to send up the pod again, it's going to damage those mounts, those animals, because they're right next to it.
Yeah.
Tried several things to fix it, and at some point I was just like, F this, so I sent up the pod. And I walked back to my base, and I was like, okay, so I basically lost a Tusker and a Snuffles. However, here came the mount teleportation to the rescue. I had set them to follow me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you set one of your animals to follow, and they lag too far behind, they will teleport to your location. Something, by the way, which does not seem to work for boars, but that's a whole different issue. So I was back in my base, I was back in the pen, and I turned around, and all of a sudden I shoot eye and eye with a big ass Tusker.
Oh. Boo.
Exactly. So yeah, it managed to. Well, I was actually outside the base, on the other side of the base. So they teleported towards me,
Mm-hmm.
which actually got them unstuck, and then I could start moving them around. I could ride my Tusker and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also seen messages in Discord about people who are like, yeah, I took my Tusker out of the pod. I couldn't move it, and along came a couple of wolves, and they killed my Tusker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they fixed this. I mean, luckily I had set them to follow before I gave up and moved away. But if you didn't do so, you moved away, and then yeah, they were just standing there doing nothing,
Yeah.
and got killed by
Getting killed.
wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, take an animal down and scare it to death.
Uh, right now, you should from the get-go be able to have it move.
Good. 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 Change the UX of the mount behavior selection screen, removing toggle buttons in favor of radio buttons and checkboxes.
For example, you want to change the stance of a mount. You have like defensive, passive, aggressive. You had to click on it to switch to the next behavior type.
Yeah.
The same for the stay and follow.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed it to, and now they show the options underneath one another, and it marks which one is selected. So
Right.
it's easier to see, like you can see all the different stances, and you can also easier see which one is actually active at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Yeah, that's going to make it so much easier.
Yeah.
Because it's like you say to me, oh, don't forget to do this. And I go into the inventory and I'm like, how do I do that? Yeah, so that's going to be easier and more self-explanatory. Mounts will no longer teleport to their owner if they are being ridden at the same time.
Yeah, so for example, I've set a mount to follow, and then you start riding that mount of mine. I move away, all of a sudden the mount, because it was set to follow me, and I was too far away, it teleported towards me. Not sure whether or not it would teleport the rider as well, but it could be very annoying. It could be exploited, but it can also be very annoying.
Yeah.
Howdy, Marshmallow. Welcome.
Howdy, Marshmallow. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're enjoying yourself. Thames now clear their combat target if they are teleported mid-flight.
Mid-fight.
Mid-fight,
mid-flight.
sorry, flight.
So again, if they're set to follow, and they attack an animal, and you keep moving, and they teleported towards you. They did not clear their combat target. Not sure what got broken there, but it's no longer gonna is now gonna actually clear the combat target. So I assume they stay usable after being teleported mid-fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, a way to like escape a bear if the bear is trying to attack you, and you have a wolf with you. Have the wolf attack the bear, and you run like F away.
Mhm.
And if the wolf set to follow, at some point, if you're a certain distance away and the wolf is still alive, it will teleport towards you. But it will keep the bear busy, so you actually have an opportunity to run away.
Okay. They fixed an issue where tames would not attack neutral creatures such as komodos. I never really thought komodos were neutral.
Well, they are neutral. You can walk past them, stand right in front of them. They don't do no nothing,
Oh, yeah, I
unless
suppose.
unless you're either scanning an animal and the Komodo is like, "Hey, food, I want it,"
Yeah,
or you're carrying an animal on your belt. And then the Komodo is going to be like, "Hey, there's food, I want it." Or
yeah,
if you actually hurt the Komodo, then he's like, "Why are you hurting me? Now I'm going to attack you back."
yeah.
Other than that, like I said, you can stand in front of a Komodo, jump on top of it, whatever. He doesn't care. It's just gonna go about its way.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
So
buffalo
it
in that
isn't. Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Buffaloes are neutral, aren't they?
exactly. So yeah, they would not be attacked by times. I assume you have to set your tame to aggressive stance, by the way, to have it attack those neutral creatures now.
Yeah. So in other words, it needs your mount needs to know it's been seen before it'll go and aggress against it.
Well, if you set your wolf to aggressive or your boar, it should attack everything inside. That's what aggressive is.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Fix an issue with mount modifiers not displaying correctly when ridden.
so if you feed your mount, it gets a buff.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, if you ride your mount on the bottom left, it will show this buff, or it's supposed to. It didn't always have
Yeah. It. I.
you
I.
all the
Yeah.
modifiers.
I don't remember seeing mount modifiers because it's like
Okay?
I remember asking you just last week, how do I know that the food has done any difference? And you're like, because of the size of the stamina bar.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the stamina bar is to start with. So, yeah, it would be good if I could see the
And
modifiers
if
and that'll
you
tell me exactly what's going on.
exactly, and also I checked if you open the inventory of the mount with this food buff, it also gives you a timer for the food buff, so you know how long you still have before the buff runs out.
Okay.
I have
That's
not checked to see whether or not it will reset the timer if you feed it again.
Well, that's good. However, can you access? See, this is one thing that I keep my
Not when
mean.
you're on the mount. You have
See,
to get off the
that's
mount before you can.
that's that's part and parcel of the problem, right?
Oh,
If you've got your mount incorrectly set, right, for what you're going to do, and you've got to jump off and feed it, and it goes and aggresses on an animal, you've got to run after the bloody thing,
yes.
So it would
So
be good if you could.
don't
It,
set your mount on aggressive, or don't get off your mount in the middle of a herd
No,
of
but what I'm
angry
saying is
animals.
it would be nice to be able to access the mount's inventory whilst you're on its back.
Mm,
Because it would be so much easier to feed it apart, so that you don't have to get off every 20 minutes. To,
it would be easier, but less realistic.
well, not really. You can feed a horse with a nose bag
Yeah, but we
for.
don't have nose bags in the game.
Okay, well, maybe we can give our animals nose bags then.
You could put it in a feature upvote.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Moving swiftly on, they have fixed an issue with dog-wolf combat where they would sometimes freeze if you killed their target before they could.
So yeah, they enter behavior routine like attack this target
Yeah,
until either it dies or the dog or the wolf dies,
yeah,
and then you kill the target. So the dog/wolf is still alive,
yeah,
so it doesn't exit the routine because of that. Also, it did not kill the target, so that's the other status to exit the attack routine. Neither
yeah.
of the statuses are true, so it would still be in the attack routine, but there is no target to attack no more. So it's like, I don't
What?
know what to do right now.
It's like, what do I do? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm still
yeah.
alive, so I have to attack and kill this animal, but this animal is not alive no more. So
Yeah, so it wasn't being able to register that the NPC was dead. So
yeah,
it wasn't triggering the okay, now I need to go this route.
yeah,
Okay. Well that makes sense. I'm glad they fixed that.
yeah,
You know, you're the part of the individual that's got your back is not much use if they can't move.
exactly.
Well, they are, so long as you don't move away from them. Okay, updated mount interaction user interface, so it's easier to read and see the creature's current state. That goes along with the toggle buttons in favor of radio buttons and checkboxes.
Yep, and also the status,
Yeah,
the food buttons and stuff, bottom left.
yes. And lowered bestiary point requirement on creatures exclusively ordered from orbit.
Yeah, so bestiary progress on things like dogs, cats, horses, sheep, chicken. You get bestiary progress for killing it, for skinning it, and for making a trophy.
Right.
However, in order to reach the max points, you had to kill like 90 chicken or so. You can only buy them from the workshop, so it's a nice money sink,
Yeah.
but might be a bit too much for players.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
now they lowered the point requirement, so you no longer need to buy 90 chicken, have them sent down, kill them, skin them, and make trophies out of them. I
Yeah.
don't know what the number is now, but it is lower.
Okie dokie.
So
Gonna have
below
a
here we see the blueprint for the kitchen corner bench. There's one for the tier 3 kitchen and also one for the tier 4, the marble kitchen.
nice. Nice addition. I'm liking that.
Yeah,
Because previously we ended up having to like put them all up against a wall, but now you can actually sort of like you can literally turn the corner and come into the room.
yeah. Put it into a corner, make a U shape, an S shape, whatever you want.
Yeah. So you can make much more use of the space that you have because you can literally turn a corner with your workbench, with your kitchen bench, sorry.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This week, summary of highlights, if you please.
Done a pass on the player lights when socketed in the light slots.
I'm
Because
gonna
these had some.
I'm gonna stop you there. We entirely missed the first half of that sentence. Do you want to check the battery on your headset?
I can hook up the charging cable. I mean, I did charge it today, so it should be full, but I'll connect it nonetheless.
Okay, that would be good. In the meantime, we have done a pass on the player lights when socketed in the light slots. These had some very odd behaviours, such as offsetting the player's light when equipping an item, and with some light sources almost being unusable. We have done a pass on the third and first person to make this feel a lot better. We have more improvements in store, especially when it comes to this interaction when riding mounts. So, in other words, having a light source on your belt that will work whilst you're on the back of a mount. Super fantastic. I remember, did we not mention something about this last week?
Well, for me, it's never actually been much of an issue. And also, this these changes did introduce a bug, a known bug which is being worked on and will be fixed next patch. If you open a cupboard now, it turns on your light. Kinda.
Oh?
It shows the light. However, the light source in the L slot is not showing it is lit. Also, lanterns and torches, etc., they don't lose durability. So it's basic.
I'm sorry, we lost you again. It's
Them on
basic
and
what?
off again.
Sorry?
So it's basically a free light
Okay.
because your torch doesn't lose durability. The
Oh.
lantern isn't using fuel.
Hmm.
To turn it off again, you have to first turn it on and then turn it off again because it is not lit.
Ah.
You have the light, but your light source is not lit. This is a known bug. They're working on it and will probably be fixed, hopefully be fixed in next week's update.
Okay.
Just saying. So you know, if you encounter this, yes, they know it already. Yes, they're working on it already.
Good. Good to know. If you please, Carney.
Arctic Moa. We've added a new Arctic version of the Moa, which is all white. Spawns on all maps in Arctic zones and comes with its own juvenile. The juveniles were already white, but the normal Moas, when the juvenile saved and grows up, it became the known brown version. This new one will become a white Arctic Moa, which, by the way, comes with its very own skill tree.
Nice.
The rationale here is to use our existing systems and content to provide more depth to the experience. We will begin to use the talent tree system for animals more and more to allow you to desire specialist animals and incentives to actually visit and traverse different biomes for different reasons. I want one of the Arctic Moas, so I am gonna go to the Arctic now to actually.
Sorry,
Both.
Carney. We lost you there. To actually.
Just cutting out for me as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I want an Arctic Moa, so I will be going to
The Arctic to get one. I'm assuming is what you're gonna
otherwise.
say. Sorry, I'm trying to finish off your sentences here.
I'm looking at my OBS. My volume level for microphone keeps moving.
That's really weird because it sounds like like it's almost like a phone signal. It's like you suddenly dip out and we can't hear anything, and then you come back again.
Yeah, I don't know what's causing it.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, my PC hasn't been on for that long, only 10 days, so that shouldn't be the issue either.
Okay. Jesus, I turn mine off every night.
We have plans for many new animals, both
No, sorry, but you're dipping in and out here.
in caves, some you will face in missions.
Okay, I'm going to repeat that for them because we lost half of that. We have plans for many new animals, both tameable as well as monsters, some of which you will face in caves or in missions.
The
Uh,
interesting thing is the first part of your sentence I didn't hear.
oh, really?
Really? Hey,
Moshbo,
Moscow.
can
Yeah, can you confirm which of us is cutting out?
Oh my goodness, yeah, we're so in tune. We're asking the peeps at the same time to give us an audio check and let us know how it's getting on at your end. I haven't had any issues as far as I know with my stream. I haven't had any refreshing signs through YouTube or nothing like that. So as far as I'm concerned, everything looks good. But I don't know how the volume is. Mosbo says it's fine on his end. That's good to know.
For both of us, you can. None of us is cutting out.
Because for me, Cornet's cutting out in some points, and Cornet's just verified that I'm cutting out for him at some points. Nope.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting. So it's a Discord issue then. Check.
Check. Okay. Good to know. Um, let's just we'll this is going to be interesting.
Actually, let me tell you what.
What?
My voice is coming through Discord to your stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How else is my voice coming into your stream? I'm not shouting that hard that you can hear it all the way over in Scotland.
Okay, let me just double check something here. You're going to see my screens flip about here for a second just because I need to check my volumes. Give me a minute. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. I have no idea.
Nah, me neither.
I've checked all my things. This is unheard of.
Oh well.
Okay.
After the stream, I will restart my Discord just to make sure.
Yeah, and I will do exactly this. I will do exactly the same. So anyway, we'll try and continue despite the minor glitches.
For the
If
time being, if I all of a sudden go mute, assume I'm just continue talking.
okay, but that then means that when you come back, I might be talking.
Unless you assume I'm still talking and you don't talk.
Okay, on you go, if you please.
Right. Medicine and modifiers. Now, some of these changes might be a bit spicy for some users. However, this game is a survival game. Our intention is to give you the sense of challenge and accomplishment that comes from preparing for a journey, as well as adapting to issues that come along the way. Now, through our development, we have inadvertently made a variety of our debuffs not matter at all. Like a sprain and a broken leg, just walk it off. Many of the debuffs were so short that rather than crafting what was needed, you simply had to wait out the issue. Now, many of our medical debuffs have had their duration increased. And not only just increased, because broken legs, for example, now have become a debuff, a permanent debuff that requires healing. Permanent as in, if you don't do anything, it will not go away. You cannot longer wait it out. Now, to balance this change, splints have become easier to craft, and the level requirement for the splint removed for all, not only for the splint, but for all early game medicines. Level requirements have been removed. So you no longer need to be level X to craft this medicine or level Y to craft that medicine.
Good.
The splint now no longer halves the time of the broken leg. No, it will completely fix your broken leg. So
Nice.
broken leg does not auto heal no more, but the splint now instantly heals your broken leg.
Yeah.
And the splints have become stackable. Before they were
Nice.
not stackable, so you had 3 splints in your inventory. It took up 3
3
slots.
slots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now they stack, so
Yeah.
you can actually
It's
keep a couple of splints with you.
yeah. It's like when we were early game and we were making splints, and it's like right, you've got one and I've got one, so that between us we've got two in the knowledge that we're running in the dark, and we might just end up running off a cliff.
Yeah, and ever since I got the talent to make rope out of leather in my inventory, I no longer kept a splint on me, cause I could craft it in situ.
Yeah.
Oops, I need a splint, I'll quickly craft one.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then along came the Neve's pickaxe, which, like, you break your leg, your carry capacity is being halved.
Yeah.
So you lose speed, and you only can carry half as much as normal. So most of the time you instantly became
It,
overencumbered.
yeah. Which meant you couldn't bloody move to start with.
Yeah. This debuff has changed. It's no longer 50% off. It's like 25% off now.
Okay.
But yeah, with the Neve's pickaxe, you took away like 50 or so percent of the overencumbered debuff.
Weight.
So you
Yeah.
could still move decent with the Neve pickaxe in hand. So yeah, I basically never
Stopped
crafted
carrying.
and used
Yeah.
the splint no more.
Yeah. The splint became useless.
Yeah, you just walk it off.
It literally.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
You
The
can't.
payoff is you can make a splint way earlier, way easier, and it fixes it in totality.
Yeah. Later on in patch notes it's mentioned there is a new recipe, an additional recipe for the splint, where you use fiber instead of rope.
Oh, even better.
So
We always have
yeah,
fiber.
yeah, you don't even need to have a rope on you or the talent to make rope out of leather, which
That's really
basically
good.
devaluates this talent
For making the splint.
for making the splint. Yeah, but if you need a rope in your base, you just use a textiles bench.
Yeah.
Textiles bench actually gives you experience for crafting rope. Where
Okay.
if you do it on your character, it does not give you any experience.
Yeah, that's the downside.
So yeah, the talent is less valuable now. You have the new splint blueprint, but
Yeah.
so yeah, if I need another talent point, I think this is one of the first ones I'm actually gonna unlearn to spend
Yeah.
the talent point elsewhere.
Yeah, you're gonna respec it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the patch notes. Some of the debuffs have also been nerfed in their impact on the player to compensate for the increased duration. Like I said, the overencumbered thing, the nerf to your carry capacity with a broken leg. No
Yeah.
longer 50%, it went down to, I believe, like 25%.
Which is a huge change.
Yeah. In addition, we have also added a new tier 3 medicine bench that serves as an intermediary between the herbalism bench and the chemistry benches. Herbalism bench tier 2, chemistry bench tier 4.
So
We
now
now
we've got
have
one in
a new.
between.
This bench fits aesthetically with the existing benches, and also it can snap to the rest of the kitchen benches. And all medicines that were present on the kitchen bench have been shifted over, notably the pills.
Pills.
You
Yeah.
need the kitchen bench to make the pills. No longer in the kitchen bench, it's now in the medicine bench.
Well,
But it is basically you have to buy for your stove, the kitchen storage block, kitchen bench. They all snap together. They added the corner, which snaps to there, and they added the tier 3 medicine bench, which also snaps in the same row.
Good. Cool.
So basically an extension for your kitchen.
Yeah. Sweet. We like that.
We have also brand new healing items. The health recovery concoction at tier 1 and the health recovering elixir at tier 3. These go along with the tier 2 health recovery tonic, which has been given a buff.
Ooh.
These 3 items all focus on providing you with a quick, decent amount of health recovery.
Yeah.
And I've
Like
used them
we're in
before, and they're very
mid-battle.
handy actually.
Yeah.
The
We
light red tonics.
Yeah. Yeah. We use them when we've been in, I think it was the boss fight, we tried
Yeah,
them out. The
yeah.
scorpion boss fight, so that we could keep the stamina and the health up, because he does a lot of damage if he gets you.
Yeah. So
Right?
you had the light green, the light green tonic for the
Stamina,
stamina, and the light red
and
one for
health
health.
recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can take them both at the same time. So, if you're doing the kiting, then you take the stamina one. If you're doing the actual fighting one, then you take the health one.
Or if you get killed and you get revived, you start
You
out with very little health.
Yeah,
Instead of eating 2 stacks of steaks, you
you
just
take
take
a
a tonic.
potion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really good. I like the way they've done that.
Yeah.
It's a nice continuance.
Yeah. So you have the concoction at tier 1, craftable in your inventory. After all, it's tier 1.
Yeah. The tier 2
And at
health
tier
recovery tonic from the herbalist's bench.
yeah, it's tier 2. So
Okay.
herbalist bench and the tier 3 kitchen bench,
Uh,
medicine bench actually now,
yeah.
the elixir. There will be numbers later on in the patch notes about the amount of health being restored.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
There was also some small but much needed changes to the way you heal your mounts and pets. That is, you now put a medical item in your hand and holding right click. It was already in there before this update, but it didn't show.
Okay.
For example, I had a boar who killed a drug,
Mm-hmm.
and the boar got a wound. So I put a bandage in my hotbar, selected it, right-clicked the boar, and actually it applied the bandage to the boar, and it took away the bleeding.
Right.
Because bleeding actually stops health recovery on your animal.
Right.
So when I hovered over the boar, it did not show me like, hey, right mouse button to apply this medicine, this
Yeah.
bandage.
Yeah, like it does with us.
Yeah, it will now.
Mm-hmm.
And like with food and water, it says right click to feed or water your mount.
Yeah.
Now with the medicine and medicinal item, it should also tell you to like right click to apply.
Good. 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 Good.
So
This will.
also
This will.
there was an issue which has now been fixed. Is if you like started applying it and you release the right mouse button, it would still consume the item.
Yeah.
Now if you release the right mouse button, it will cancel applying the medicinal item, and it will not consume the items if sorry, not stop the right click. It's like if the animal's like moving about, right?
Yeah.
So is it walking away whilst you're trying to apply the bandage? It went away, and the bandage will still disappear.
But
Now the
yeah,
bandage will stay in your inventory, and it will cancel the action, like applying the bandage, as it should.
yes. So before it would consume the bandage and not heal the mount because the mount was too far away.
And not sure whether or not it would heal it. It would definitely consume the item.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like it would consume the item, but not actually put the item to the correct use because the
It's,
recipient
ba-
of said item was too far away.
it's basically when will it consume the item? At the start of the action or at the end of the action?
Yeah, well, with us, it happens at the end of the action.
Yeah. So if the action is not being cancelled when the mount walks away, the action will play out fully, and at the end it will consume the item.
Yeah.
However, if it consumes the item at the start of the action, so then you start applying the bandage to your mount, and halfway the process it walks away, the action gets cancelled, but the item is already consumed.
Yeah.
No more.
Good.
In addition, we have also added a new bandage animation, so you can see yourself and others applying medicine to themselves. Oh, cool.
So you can actually see the individual wrapping the bandage somewhere,
Something like that, yeah.
maybe around your arm or something.
Easy enough to test out.
Yep.
Let me
Uh,
quickly write it down.
Alrighty, I'm going to highlight this dirt, sand, and foundations, the whole paragraph, because I really need a bio break. So I'll ask you to read that if you don't mind.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
So, a couple of new building materials, dirt and sand, and foundations you can make out of at least the dirt. This update we've added the ability to use a shovel and dig up dirt and sand when digging on various areas in the terrain. Dirt can be used to craft two new building pieces, a dirt foundation and a dirt ramp, both craftable on player at tier 1. Obviously you will need to unlock by blueprint. Now these new buildables can only be placed in the terrain or they will instantly break, serving as a good foundation for buildings. Let's see, the dirt ramp for example, you can climb a cliff by putting the thatch ramps on the side of the cliff. Then you can like build out one if you have to go around a bit of rock. This will not work with the dirt ramp. You can hook it into the mountain, it will stay there, but as soon as you place one next to it, it will insta break. Keep that in mind. It needs to be placed in the terrain or it will instantly break. Now sand is also another resource that is available to collect it with a shovel. Sand can be used as an alternate to silica when crafting glass in a furnace. Yes! Because if you build concrete and glass, you need a ton of silica. You need silica for the cement mix and you need silica for the glass. Now you can use sand for glass. Sand basically is silica, so makes sense. This does relieve the pressure on silica collecting a lot. I'm very happy for that. Now, don't you worry, you can still dig mounds in the ground using the right click. But you can now also craft and place dirt mounds, as well as allowing you to place them in other locations. So you can like dig one directly into the ground, or you can craft one in your inventory and then place it somewhere else, which would make it easier to make straight rows of dirt mounds. Especially for the people amongst us who have OCD, this is going to be a nice addition.
I agree with that.
But yeah, sand as an alternative for silica when crafting glass. I'm very happy with that. Like I said, you need a ton of silica if you build concrete and glass. You need silica for the cement mix and for the glass. So this
Yep.
is taking a lot of pressure off the silica mining.
Yeah. Yeah. There was always a need for a silica deep vein. or
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Because you
Or
use it in
continuously running thumpers to respawn there
regenerate.
in the
Yeah,
hope they come back as silica. Yeah.
yeah. Wow. It was always oh, do you need silica? Well, duh.
Yeah, always. How much?
Always.
All of it.
Yes. How
Exactly.
much? Yes.
Exactly. New item, stone cairns. This update we have added stone cairns that can be placed in world, where you can customize the text and description so other prospectors can see on their travels in your world. You can also use these as waystones to mark a path across the landscape or even mark areas of significance. So I want to go to here now. What is the exact route I have to take? Just follow the cairns.
Yeah.
Now with the cairns we have also added a single inventory slot to the cairns. So if players choose to, they can store the corpse of a dead pet, marking their grave and providing them with a small memorial.
Oh,
Credit to Leon Ferrin on our Discord, as this was a direct result of their suggestion.
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Writing down stone cairn with corpse. I wonder, can you add any corpse? I.e., you kill a wolf, a wild wolf, you can put that one in the cairn? I don't know. We'll have to have a look.
I'll have to test it out for science.
Yeah. So, another new item, the kitchen corners, where we've talked about a little bit already.
Mm-hmm.
As has likely been apparent to players of Icarus for a long time now, we were missing kitchen corners. Now, the advantage of a project clinic is the ability to push through fast solutions to clear problems, cutting through the bureaucracy that typically exists in a project. So now we finally have a simple, brand new deployable for both the kitchen and marble benches that allow you to make corners, curves and U-shapes with your kitchen set. These benches include a kitchen bench, biofuel stove, medicine bench, kitchen storage, sinks and more.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
We always need more storage.
Yeah, but also now you can make a proper corner. You don't have to place it and then align it to make the proper 90-degree turn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Just more room for more pencils.
true, true. It's a corner piece, so what you're gonna do?
That's
Put
4
something on top.
pencils.
Another new item is the wood stove. Now the existing potbelly stove is not a good travel heat source, as it only provides heat as you move. Not sure what I mean here. Now as you cook, potbelly
Yeah.
stove is only lit when you actively cook something.
Yeah.
So you couldn't use it to use as a source of heat when sleeping,
No.
active campfire, unless you were actively cooking something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Overnight.
exactly. Now some rebalancing of weights and bulks have occurred with deployables like the stone fireplace. It's big, it's heavy, especially heavy,
Yeah.
takes a lot of room in your inventory.
Takes a lot of
So
room on the floor.
you basically were using campfires all the time.
Yeah.
Now we have a new small wood stove that is designed to be more mobile. Something you might take with you to build a small hut when heading into the Arctic biome. It bridges the gap between the campfire and the stone fireplace. Especially in the Arctic, yes, campfire doesn't give a whole lot of heat. So
Yeah.
in order to not freeze, you had to stand between like 3 campfires in a cave if there was a storm going on outside,
Yeah, or a fire pit.
or the big fireplace. But it costs a lot of resources to craft.
Yeah.
It weighs a ton, so you don't generally carry one of those around.
No.
So yeah, you always had this issue like either I collect a ton of stone to make a stone fireplace for a one-time use because I'm not going to carry because it weighs too much,
Hmm.
or I need a whole bunch of campfires to keep me warm. Now we have the wood stove, which, if I'm reading this correctly, gives more heat than a campfire, less than a stone fireplace. So a campfire and a wood stove might be enough.
Hmm.
It's going to be lighter than the fire pit. So instead of carrying a campfire, you can now carry a wood stove.
Yeah. I'm assuming then, with it being a wood stove, it might actually be easier to craft in places where you would maybe struggle to find stones
I,
to make a
I don't know
fireplace.
where you craft a wood stove though. Is it tier 1 in inventory or tier 2 on a crafting bench? I don't know.
Um,
It might be a tier 2 item, which means
well,
you better craft it in base and take it with you.
yeah,
Then again, if you are going out for a longer trek, you carry a little 1x1 and a bedroll and a campfire. Now you can do 1x1 bedroll and a wood stove.
yeah, depending on how big it is.
It's a small wood stove, so I reckon small. I haven't seen a picture of it, so I don't know.
Okay. Something else for you to test. See how large it is and if you can fit it in a 1x1.
Yep. Also, since it's a stove, I would say less risk of accidentally stepping in on the stove and setting yourself on fire.
Yeah, and you,
Always an issue with the campfires.
yes, yes, always have been an issue with that.
Anyway, some more extensive general changes, additions, and balances. There are a lot more things added this patch, from small balance changes around soups, spoil times being displayed in hours and minutes instead of seconds, creating separate items for steel roofs, concrete ramps and steel roofs. They were looking very different, but they were basically the same item. Concrete roof, concrete stairs, and concrete roof. Sorry, concrete ramp, stairs, and the roof.
Hmm.
The roof was distinctively different looking, so they made it into steel roof now.
Okay.
There isn't, like, if you look at it, there's no concrete on it anyway. So why would you need cement mix to make one? Because it was basically another variant of the same item. Now
Yeah.
it's a completely different item.
Okay.
Furthermore, we have 4 new electric lights, wall and ceiling lights, and lots more, including a host of fixes. Check out the patch notes below for the full list, which we will do. It really cannot be emphasized enough that there is a host of new content that has come directly from us experiencing the game as you do, i.e. playing the game.
Yeah.
Now, this picture below does show us the dirt foundations and the dirt ramps.
Yep.
Again, make sure they connect to the ground or a cliff face at all times, because if you don't, it will break.
Yeah. It won't be secure.
Now, like thatch ramps against a cliffside, you can build out a bit more to make a wider path or to go around a bulge of the rock. You cannot do the same with the dirt ones.
Yeah.
You can put one in the rock face, sure, but as soon as you put one next to it, it will break.
Yeah.
So the thatch ramps are still going to be very useful for quickly traversing cliffs.
Yeah. Okay.
Now next week we'll be getting more Leica fixes. Next week we will continue making Leica improvements along with other general adjustments from the second week of our project clinic. Alongside our own internal notes, we'll keep listening and taking on board feedback that is shared through feature upvote. So do make sure to keep putting your suggestions in there for them to get through. Another thing, they're working on a solution to the late game hitching in open world. We have all noticed the longer you play in an open world, the more you build in an open world, the more the performance drops in your open world.
Yeah.
And it was never really much of an issue when we still had like the real world timed missions.
Yeah.
Although truth be said, truth be told is the expression. If you had a 30-day mission, like the exploration missions, you could build quite big and you would start noticing performance decrease. But with the introduction of persistence in open worlds, yeah, it became more and more apparent. So they are working on this.
Good.
In open world games over time, voxel loading can cause hitching as you move around the map. This can happen regardless of what settings you have. So decreasing your settings like resolution or your video settings, set them to medium instead of ultra, doesn't really help that much.
Yeah.
Because if the voxels are not being completely cleaned up, like they're still there, they still need to be calculated.
Yeah.
It is impossible to clean up some of them voxels completely.
Yeah.
And
Like
additionally,
when I go harvesting for stone, right? You go and hit a stone, and you don't get that. Oh, this one is finished. You don't get the finish, the harvesting of that stone, and you can look on the ground for ages for tiny little bits. You'll never find them.
yeah. So that's a voxel that's not completely cleaned up. Now, this will add up over time, obviously, resulting in performance loss.
Yeah.
And additionally, burn down trees and loss of vegetation, the undergrowth, it's not only sometimes a performance issue, which it is, but it's also unsightly. Like you either have a whole bunch of burnt trees around your base, or if you take them out, you have barren land around your base.
Yeah.
There goes your wood cabin, your
Yeah.
forest cabin. It's no longer a forest, no, it's like an empty field in the forest with a cabin in it.
Yeah.
Now we have identified the direct solutions to the late game hitching that we're going to add as options for players. These will involve cleaning up data in your save, thus reducing the size of the save, thus increasing performance. And in return, the world will run much faster. For an example, you start a new prospect, is like what? 500k kilobyte? Um, I have prospects which are like 2.5 megs in size.
Yeah.
It's like 5 times the starting size of a prospect. Of course, there's gonna be a huge performance impact there.
Yeah.
You have to load 5 times as much data. So yeah, clean up the existing saves is going to be very useful. Now, this cleaning up can include, for example, reloading trees that are burnt down, reload them as being alive again. Tree regrow. something which has been talking about for a long, long time already, ever since they started at some point talking about resource generation, a
Mm-hmm.
device for resource generation, which eventually resulted in a thumper. At the same point, they were also already talking about tree regeneration. So we're finally going to get one of those as well, especially helpful for collecting wood in grasslands
Mm-hmm.
or desert, where there aren't a whole lot of trees around,
Yeah.
and you will run out of wood eventually, or at least any wood close by. And there's also in forest biomes, it will make it look way nicer.
Yeah.
So reloading trees or stone. If stone voxel is more than 50% mined, just not loading it in at all. Do keep in mind though, if you go this route, you mine a rock and you're like, oh, my inventory is full. I'm going back home to unload, and I will come back to mine the rest of the voxel of the rock. If it's more than 50% mined, and you for some reason decide to, you know what, I'll finish it tomorrow, it will no longer be there.
Mm.
So basically, make stone piles in your inventory, place them on the ground, and keep on mining the entire rock.
Yeah.
Now, these changes are extensive, so they did not make it in time for this update. However, we do have a build that is in close testing already with some of these changes. We are optimistic we might be able to have this included in the next update, next week. If so, this would be a profound fix for what is an intensely frustrating problem for late game open world prospects.
Yeah.
I will be very happy for any performance improvements in my open worlds,
Yeah.
especially the ones
You're.
like I've yes, I have quite large bases, although I've seen really massive bases pictures of it in Discord.
Yeah.
But like I have a lot of building done already, a lot of resource collection done. I have like all the benches, all the resources I can want, I can need. So I like playing those open worlds because like I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
However, they become more and more unplayable because of performance issues.
Yeah.
Up to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna start a new prospect.
Yeah.
But then I have to like work through everything again and start building up stocks and
And
benches.
you and ultimately you end up with the same problem.
You will end up with the same issues again. Yes.
So
So yeah,
if
I would be very happy if they would indeed manage to tackle these problems.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, the bigger the issue that you have with this, and I can experience that on your open worlds because it's, I end up stuttering when I'm running places with you, or, like you'll say, oh, this is a really, really laggy corner. So just, like try and follow me kind of thing. And once I get through it, I'll wait for you at the other end,
Yeah,
because it becomes so bad. The game is almost unplayable.
yeah. It makes a slideshow. Slideshow. It makes a slideshow look fast compared
Y-
to the game.
Yeah, yeah. And I like your Freudian slip there because it ends up being a shite show.
True, true.
You know, we like for a game to be smooth when it comes down to trying to stream it for the peeps. But
Yeah.
there again,
I mean,
you know,
my
the
main
peeps
open
the
world. The
peeps
first
experience
time.
it. Yeah, I mean the peeps experience it with us because they're
Yeah,
watching and they're hopefully enjoying it with us.
yeah.
It's just like it would with him for
Well,
it becomes so bad.
my main open world, right? The first
Mm,
time you travel towards the swamp where I have my crazy
yeah,
base.
yeah,
You know how laggy it is just before entering the swamp, where you have to travel between the river and the cliff.
Yeah, that becomes really difficult. Actually, it's like
Yeah,
it's as soon as you see yourself freezing, you have to take your hands off the keys just to make sure you don't die.
exactly. I mean, PowerPoint is faster than that at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they could manage to fix those kinds of stutters, also when traveling back towards the main base, there's
Mhm.
always already been the issue as soon as you get in range of the contact device or within a certain range of the contact device, it's always lagging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always. So this is repeatable, reproducible, and would be very nice if they managed to fix those kind of hitches and stutterings.
It would be indeed.
Yeah.
Looking
So,
forward to that fix.
so your support makes these updates possible, and we have the patch bundle, which came out alongside Leica, which includes the creature comforts pack with new Raspberry items like extra water troughs, saddles, extra saddles and stuff, the
Mhm.
luxury chicken coop. We have the pet companions pack, which gives you access to dogs and cats. And we have the zebra rescue mission. By the way, I've played this mission, and it's the same as Snuffles. During this particular mission, you can tame zebras. Only during this mission. So
Okay.
it does not unlock zebra taming, no. If you do this mission, you can tame zebras, which you can then send up to the space station. And from there, you can call down in any prospect you want. You want a new zebra, you have to do this mission again. You can rescue up to 5 zebras.
Mhm.
I only managed to rescue 3 because I was on my own. Uh, in retrospect, I should have thought about it. Make a saddle so you can actually ride your zebra, which is going to be faster than have you following than have it following you.
Yeah.
Also, if you play this mission in multiplayer, you can one person having ride the zebra and the other one running behind it and defending it.
Protecting. Yeah.
Yeah, it is gonna make the mission a lot easier. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I have, as you know, I couldn't do the gameplay for that, so I haven't done that mission. So I'm looking forward to that.
And the other one is the completed set for Icarus, which like includes everything. The base game, the Styx and the New Frontiers expansions, outpost packs, also the items from the patch bundle. The complete the set takes into account what you already have. So it only buys the items you don't have yet. The patch bundle is a all or nothing.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
changelog.
New content.
So Arctic moa spawns have been added. We're talking about that. Dirt foundations and ramps are there.
The build pieces
Uh,
are there.
table entries, the pieces, the images. You can now dig in dirt and mud to get dirt with a shovel. You can dig in sand to get sand with a shovel. Alternate glass recipe which uses sand.
Yeah,
Uh,
because what did it use before? Silica.
silica, yeah.
Yeah, everything needs silica.
Yeah, and sand basically is silica with
Yeah.
impurities, but in essence, sand is silica.
Yeah, but in essence, glass is sand.
Exactly.
So there you go.
The tier 1 and tier 3 health recovery items, the concoction and the elixir. And as promised, here are the numbers. The health recovery concoction on tier 1 gives you 100 health. The health recovery tonic at tier 2 gives you 250 health. And the health recovery elixir at tier 3 gives you 450 health.
Nice. That's a big difference. Although, having said that, if you can get the tier 1 recovery, it's still useful for an early character.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah, but I will be running around with the new tier 3 ones instead of the tier 2 ones.
Yeah. Thought you might be.
Added more deep veins or deposits.
We've added stone and oxide ore deposits.
I have read in Discord something about they only being available in new open worlds. Because current open worlds already have all the spots filled.
Yeah, well, it's not just that, but actually one of the things that I noticed on Monday was we're actually running further and further and further for resources, and the only deposits that seem to be left everywhere, as far as voxels are concerned, is oxide. Oxide is everywhere.
Yes, but you need a lot of oxide if you start making organic resin for various reasons. Then you will burn through oxide like it's nothing. And trust me, you will at some point run out of oxide voxels. The same,
Sorry,
the same
excuse
with
me.
stone.
Sorry, dead air. What's the same with the stone?
Stone is a finite resource
Yes.
up until now.
Good. Stone ore deposits we do definitely need.
Yeah, but again, you will need to restart. You need to start a new open world because these are added to the current table from which a material is randomly chosen for a deep vein upon creation of the open world.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would need to restart the open world if you wouldn't want stone and or oxide deep veins.
Well, there you go. Just another
Yeah.
excuse for you to start another open world.
There is kind of an exception, but it does include editing your JSON file. And it's not something you can do by hand. And it's not something from Icarus developers themselves. So in general, yes, you just start a new open world.
Yeah.
I might try at some point after backing up the JSON, of course. Try it on my main open world to see if I can get stone or oxide deep vein closer by. But it does entail like wiping all current deep veins and replacing them with random new ones. So I have, for example, a silica deep vein or close to base.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what it's going to be. I have multiple deep drills already on usable deep veins reasonably close to base. Again, I'll have to wait and see what they would become then. And again, it's always a risk that you're going to break your open world. So
Yeah. Okay.
anyway,
Talking about
increase. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, talking about drills, increase deep ore drill speeds for most ore types.
Yeah. This is the deep vein drills. This is not the exotic drills.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah, well, they were damn bloody slow, if you ask me.
Yeah, but then again, they were never meant to be a quick collection of resources. It's more
No,
a
but
slow but
they can
steady stream of resources.
it can be it can be quicker than what it is by a long shot without being over resourceful,
Well,
if that makes sense.
especially in Prometheus, where resources are more biome bound.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
lucky, you can find a titanium and a platinum deep vein in the grasslands.
Hmm.
So you don't have to travel to the volcanic biome for titanium in mines, in caves, or you have to place a thumper there, and then again you have to wait and see what random new foxes will appear and hope for, etc.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're always meant to be a slow but steady stream of resources, especially after a couple of weeks ago where they changed the deep veins to be infinite.
yeah,
So yeah, the drills being slow, hey, that's how they are designed. You don't
yeah.
want to
But
make it too easy for yourself, you know?
no, but then there was that example last week where you needed silica, and I made a couple of drills so that I could put one on a silica and one on something else.
Yeah.
Um, and I felt like I was checking the drill like, I don't know, maybe every gameplay half hour, and I was coming back with like 15.
Yeah, but imagine giving you like 500 an in-game hour. It's too much. It makes
Well,
things too easy.
yeah, I mean, they can increase the speed so that we get the items a little bit faster than what we do without it being overmuch, so that we still have to wait for it, but just not quite as
It
long.
is it is meant to be a grind.
Hmm.
So, but they have been increased, so you got your wish.
I like that idea. I do like that idea.
Not sure. I don't have any numbers for these, by the way. So I don't know which are being increased and which are not. I also don't know how much the speed increase is. But anyway,
Okay.
continuing. Rescaled meat rewards for many creatures to better represent their physical size. Actually, something Carl has complained about as well. Like you only get like 4 steaks from an animal.
Yeah.
You kill a buffalo, you only get 4 steaks. You kill a rabbit, you get 4 steaks.
Yeah, it's not proportional.
Exactly.
Whereas you would expect actually maybe to only get one from a rabbit and I don't know, 40 from a buffalo.
40 might be a bit much, but yeah,
Well, yeah,
more,
but
definitely more.
yeah, definitely more proportionate to its size.
Yeah. So they have listened to these requests, and now the meat rewards scale.
Which are good.
Yeah. Corn and mushroom soup now require 3 corn and 3 mushrooms, respectively. The same with the tomato soup, 3 tomatoes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Renamed pneumonia to cave sickness. It's pneumonia.
What was wrong with pneumonia?
Well, they fix it by renaming pneumonia to cave sickness. So it's no longer pneumonia. No, it's cave sickness.
Okay. Well, we usually
Right.
called it the cave bug, so
Yeah, exactly.
maybe they're
Or
going to
the
use.
cave long or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe want to use pneumonia for something else later on.
Mm, this is just a name change.
Okay.
The debuff is still the same. The medicine for this, the purple stuff, still the same. It's just they replaced the name pneumonia with the name cave sickness.
Which means they'll also have to update the medicine's name that fixes it
Yeah,
to mention cave sickness, not pneumonia.
yeah. But it's Everything stayed the same, it's just the name has changed.
Okay.
Now, mounts and tames now follow closer distance from lead using hitching rope, talked about that.
Yeah.
Styx Open World has now an extra drop option, a drop location. Great River South. Cool.
Good.
Split out steel roofing from the concrete roofing setup, talked about that one.
Yeah.
Deep mining drills have increased drilling speed up to 20% based on area level. Yeah, but I don't have a list of areas with the levels, but okay. But speed increase up to 20%. Also, is a higher speed increase on a higher level area level, or is a higher drill speed increase on a lower area level? Also doesn't state.
Well, it
But
says
we
up
will
to 20%, so I would kind of almost maybe assume that that is also scalable depending
yeah,
on where it's put.
yeah, but will a higher area level result in less increase to make it harder, or in more increase because it's a higher area level? It doesn't state.
Unsure.
I'm not going to do any testing either. I mean, like I said, for me, the deep drills are a nice addition for a slow but steady material stream.
Okay.
Wood burner, talked about the small wood stove or wood burner.
Yeah.
Adding stats to it, since it's basically tier 2 campfire, provides more comfort and crafting speed compared to the campfire, tier 1 campfire.
Yeah.
Added exposed and the single lights in the ceiling and the wall lights, so there are 2x2 is there's the 4 new lights.
Mm-hmm.
Kitchen and advanced kitchen corner have been added, as well as the medicine bench. Adding talent, i.e. blueprint, for the wood burner, for the lights, and for the dirt ramps and dirt foundations. Dramatically increased mammoth tusk crushed bone yield. It used to be 10. You got 10 crushed bone from one mammoth tusk. It has now been increased to 200 or 400 from one mammoth tusk.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because
However,
you can get more bone from a crocodile than you can from a mammoth tusk, which is stupid.
yeah, the rewards for the tasks like skinning a mammoth reward has been increased to 2 tasks, but it no longer scales with skinning rewards. So the talent for more bone rewards from skinning has no influence on the amount of mammoth tusks. You always get 2, but here's the catch. Mammoth tusks are now a bulk, meaning you can only carry 1. Unless you have a mount and you can put 1 in your mount and you can carry the second one yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But you can only carry 1 at a time. It does, however, give you a full stack of epoxy. It gives you 400 crushed bone, which can be crafted into 100 epoxy from one single mammoth tusk.
Nice. That's more like it.
So there are in-world Mammoth Bestiary Unlock now grants increased bone rewards instead of increased tusk rewards. Again, is now set to 2 fixed value. Removed level restrictions on antibiotics, antipoison, antibacterial, and blood thinning pastes, I assume, not the tonics, because they were tier 2. You can't craft them on your person.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know. I'd have to check the blueprint tree. I would say it's the pastes. Also for bandages, splints, and suture kits, because you have the debuffs timers have been increased.
Excuse me.
The broken leg is now infinite until you heal it with a splint. So those medicinal items become more important.
Mm-hmm.
Or so low-level characters should be able to craft them already straight away. It will still take a blueprint though. Keep that in mind if you start a new character. Bandages and suture kits might still be, and splints now as well. You might want to have amongst the first items you unlock.
Yeah, most
Especially splints.
definitely. Yeah.
Like bandages and suture kits, if you don't tend to those wounds, they will turn into infected and festering wounds, which have still a timer, albeit a very long timer, but they still have a timer. Broken leg, infinite, so splint is actually the first one you should, definitely amongst the first ones you should unlock.
Yeah. Especially considering that it can now be made directly with fiber.
Yeah. And they
And
also stack now.
stack. Yeah, exactly.
So a couple of the debuffs had the timings increased. Concussion and contusion, fasting wound, infected wounds, they all last 1800 seconds now. Dysentery now lasts longer as well, 600 seconds. Broken legs, no duration, so infinite, but can be fully healed by splint.
Mm-hmm.
Sprained ankle debuff timer increase is now 120 seconds. There is no medicinal item for a sprained ankle, though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. You
So
just slow for
be
longer.
careful. Yes. Adding stats for creature bone damage and chance to instantly gather bones. Okay. Adding stats for biome specific temperature resistance. There is no, it wasn't really the temperature. I was looking at the new mount foods earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
The volcanic food actually increases fire resistance,
Good to
not
know.
temperature resistance. So if you have two moas, you ride your mouse into the lava. One has this volcanic biome food and one has not. The one without will die to far quicker.
Yeah. Whereas if it has the fire resistant food, then you may actually have an opportunity to try and get bloody thing out of the lava.
Before it catches fire, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Add stat to control the speed of the buffalo when the card is active. I tested out the seeding card. It works amazing, by the way.
Good.
But it is normal pace, so it seeds very quickly a very big area.
Okay.
I also tested out the watering card, and it holds a lot of water, but it disposes of it very quickly as well. So
Ah,
if you want to create a massive wheat field and you want to water it, be prepared to have a whole bunch of water barrels hooked up to your water network next to the field to fill up the watering card. Just saying.
yeah.
Mount movement and combat behavior settings are now a list instead of buttons. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Arctic Moa again. talents for the Arctic Moa. Added new deep ore types to the workshop scanner. The planet-side crafted one tells you where the nearest deep vein is, but you cannot select for a specific one. You can do it with the workshop one. You can say, okay, show me this, the nearest copper deep vein or the
Yeah,
nearest platinum deep vein.
yeah,
Now, obviously, with the new stone and oxide deposits, those materials had to be added to the workshop scanner as well,
yeah.
which have been done now.
Otherwise, you would spend a long time looking for them.
Exactly. Added stick equip first person and third person animation and montages. Added stick equip flip grab audio for first and third person perspectives. This has to do with the play fetch with the dog stuff,
Yeah.
which by the way I
Okay.
haven't been able to make work. Dogs were
Okay.
just looking at the stick and were like, yeah, so you can grab it yourself. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I have some lazy dogs in my open world, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can just imagine you chucking a stick and a dog looking at you as if to say, "Well, you were the one that wanted to play fetch. Now go and get it."
You're the one who threw it away, you go get it
Yeah, I mean,
yourself.
why on earth would you throw away a useful stick like that? Now go and pick it up.
Yeah,
Stop littering. Go and pick up your stick.
yeah, they didn't really want to play fetch, like I said. I have some lazy ass dogs in my open world. Okay,
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I can't blame them. Can't blame them. I mean, would you want to go running after a stick?
I'm no dog,
Yeah,
as far as I know
exactly.
that is.
Yeah, I mean, dogs are smart.
Anyway, tier 3 herbalist bench has been added. The art assets. Arctic Moa talent icon. Updated the medicine bench, which is basically the tier 3 herbalism bench, medicine bench blueprint.
Hmm.
Ta-da. Juvenile Arctic Moa has been added. Otherwise, how can you tame it? New
That's a good
bandaging
question.
animations. Yeah, you can't catch him with a snare trap because there's no bait for it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So new bandaging animations has been hooked up. Change decay times to display minutes and hours rather than just seconds. So it won't show like 3000 seconds, 3600 seconds. It will say 1 hour.
Yeah.
It won't say 2100 seconds. It will say like I don't know, 35 minutes, I believe.
Yeah. It's easier to understand how long it's going to last rather than continuously having to keep an eye on it. Right.
Well,
How many seconds
I
have I got
never,
left?
I never calculated like, hey, how many minutes is this? I just kept an eye on it, and as soon as the like bar was close to the bottom, I was like, okay, now I should actually use it, otherwise it's gonna decay. But sure.
Yeah. But I mean, it was easy to miss because everything was in seconds, right? If you're busy focusing on what you're doing and you see out of the corner of your eye something change to be a little bit narrower, it's because you've got 1 hour, X amount of minutes, as opposed to 300 seconds down to 250 seconds, down to 50 seconds. It's easier to spot when something is changing because the width of the text becomes smaller. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm not sure it displays yeah, it might actually. Hours and seconds in bottom left. I thought it was just the spoil times on the item itself. Mosbo raises a fair point here. You have to wait until the dog levels up to the talent to learn to fetch. So if they haven't leveled up,
Ah,
they're stupid. So still, dogs are stupid because they haven't learned to fetch yet.
yeah, no.
But thanks for the clarification. I will have a look at the dog levels then.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is you haven't considered that before and just thought your dog was
Oh,
just dumb. When in actual fact it was the case of okay, well,
the
the
dog is
dog's
still
the
dumb
dog's
because
sitting
it
there
hasn't
going,
learned to
"You
fetch.
want me to what?" Because it doesn't have the talent to go and fetch it.
Yeah. So it's still a dumb dog
Yeah. So in other
because
words,
it doesn't know how to fetch.
you have to teach it to go fetch. You can't just chuck a stick and say fetch and expect it to know what to do.
How else are you going to learn it?
Well,
Actually, how else are you going to teach the dog? But yeah.
does that not just prove my point, Peeps?
I have no idea what you're
Maybe
talking
it's not just the dog. If the
about.
owner
Right.
has to learn it how to fetch.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Anyway.
Right.
Sorry, Jordy, I
Let's
couldn't
see.
resist that.
Yeah. Sure. Added additional talents to hunting and repairing tree for bones damage and instant gatherer.
As talked about above.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, finally, we're getting the electric oxide dissolver. You had
Woohoo!
the metal one, which was a tier 3, running on biofuel.
Yeah,
And ever so often he was like, why is it not filling up my oxide tanks? Oh wait, biofuel ran out.
yeah.
We now finally get a tier 4 one, electric one. Definitely
Yay!
gonna get me one of those. The well-trained skill. Good. Yeah, I
Ah,
haven't really looked at the dog skills that much yet, Maspo, but like I said, I
yeah.
will do. Thank you for for telling me.
Yeah, it's true what they say, you learn something new every day.
Exactly. I just leveled up. I got myself a new talent.
Yeah, well, actually, the reality is that it's not something new. It's always something old. It's just new to you.
Exactly.
So there you go. Thank you very much, Mospo. Appreciate that.
Adding user interface prompts for the shovel, like what is it? Left click to make a mound, right click to dig, something like that.
Yeah, that would make sense considering we just don't use them.
It will be later on in the patch notes though, which button does what.
Okay.
Dirt ramps and foundations will now only have stability when supported by the terrain. As soon
As
as you
was,
build up or out, it breaks.
yeah, as was spoken about above.
Elixir is now craftable at the chemistry bench and not on the player. Hey, it's a tier 3 item.
That
Tier
makes
4, tier
yeah,
4 actually. Chemistry bench is tier 4. So
yeah.
yeah.
Although it would have been really cool to make it in your inventory.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't need a chemistry bench for it.
Yeah, but I mean, hello, it's called a glitch for a reason.
True. Reducing base experience loss on infected wound to match the festering wound at -5%, which by the way isn't a whole lot.
No, you can walk that off.
Yep. Just takes you 1800 seconds.
Yeah, well, it will now. Didn't used to, but it will now.
So lower the severity of the broken leg carry weight from -50 to -25 to account for the broken legs no longer healing naturally, as talked about before.
Fully healable with a splint.
Yep. Adding dirt ramp and framed images when trying to select variation. Always handy to choose the correct one.
Mm-hmm.
Add a speed increase to drills that are outside the spawn zone, notably in caves or out of bounds. So I reckon like further away than X distance from the player,
Yeah.
out of bounds. Aluminum building pieces now have recipes that use aluminum ingots in addition to those that use aluminum ore. I thought it was replaced by. Apparently you can now use either the ore or the ingots for making building pieces. Or always find it weird that you can make a metal wall with raw ore.
Yeah.
So I would have thought change it to metal ingots instead of add an alternative recipes for ingots.
Yeah, because I always remember every single time we picked up aluminium, you had to decide how much we were smelting and how much we were putting aside. And if it was putting aside, it was kept well clear of anything that could melt it, because you had to remember, oh, but we've got to use aluminium ore for this.
Yeah. For certain building pieces, you needed the aluminum ore. Also, for things like composite paste is the ingots actually.
Yeah.
Aluminum ore. I'm not sure which other recipes were using aluminum ore though.
Yeah.
Maybe composites. Not sure whether it use ore or ingots anymore. Anyway, moral of the story: aluminum building pieces now have recipes that use aluminum ingots in addition to those that use aluminum ore.
Okay.
Brown bear armor not only provides heat resistance in the forest. Heat resistance in the brown bear armor. I would say it's very warm, so less heat resistant. But yeah, don't wear brown bear armor in the desert.
Okay.
Added health restoration concoction to the medicine bench line. Concoction player crafted tier 1.
Yeah.
Added dirt building pieces deploy, tick damage, loop damage repair, stress, audio and events, etc. And everything, physical material and data table setups. Basically make them work.
Yeah.
Adding the stone cairn item buildable at tier 1 with stone. Makes sense, it's stone cairn.
Oh, yeah.
Can be used to mark locations around the map or scope out a path. You can also place in the animal corpse to remember dead friends, as talked about before. Text and title, etc. Added upgrade options for steel, so you can turn a stone roof into a steel roof. So basically, added to the R radial on the repair hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed building concrete stair pieces missing after the steel roofing split. Yes, I've seen people complain about this in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
On experimental branch where they were like, hey, all my concrete stairs, they're gone. They're not invisible, no, they're completely gone. After they split out the steel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like concrete ramps and stairs and the steel roofs, which used to be steel concrete roofs. Yeah, they split out the roof part and it somehow messed up the stairs. Luckily, this has been fixed. Setting up the wood burner, the wood stove, removing proxies and lights from a blueprint as they don't work with the current mesh. And also added the icon, so you don't have the like question mark icon in the blueprint screen and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Exposed wall light, have the meshes added, icons added, light added. More lamps are coming, but they're currently feature locked because meshes aren't ready yet. Added the correct PM to the dirt ramp blueprint, so the footsteps actually play dirt sounds and not stone sounds.
Yep.
Adding back in the steel roof variations to concrete ramp variations for now until this can be done in a non-destructive way. So yeah, they've been working with this quite a bit. I'll just grab a concrete ramp and see in the building radial, which variations we still have. Because I'm not sure whether they fix all the staircases already or they now basically put the steel roof back into the concrete radiation. So to fix the issue for now. Although adding steel into the repair hammer would suggest it is a separate piece now. Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is a duplicate.
Yep.
So we continue to fixes. Fix a bug where the amount of NPC movement was stuttering for clients when accelerating. Talked about that.
Yep.
Adding a new version of standing breathing animation for the cat that fixes the feed. Adding correct punch animation to punch montage and adding unique punch whoosh audio. I have become cyborg. Better specialization and randomization of the dog footsteps. Commute slightly clearer over a longer distance. And as a seventh one, added texture variant to dirt. Oh, reduced stability calculation frequency when walking through the base or during snowstorms. This, especially for bigger buildings, this might be a nice performance increase.
Cool.
The more building pieces you have, the more stability calculations have to be done for each building piece.
Yeah.
So if you reduce the frequency of those calculations by 50%, that's going to be a lot of calculations it doesn't have to do anymore. Thus, performance increase. Good.
Okay. I'm going to highlight a few here because I need to buy a break if you don't mind.
Sure. Now the beehive's honey extractor upgrade is now translatable text. So good for players who play on non-English. Relocated tagged mission items so it will show in the relevant crafting filter. So less confusion there. An abyss mission allow monitoring station content to be translated. Again, nice for a non-English playing people. The same for Flatline. Added translatable text for the mission device interaction. So you play in German and you no longer see those. If you interact with the mission device, you no longer see the text there in English. Added missing translatable text to the end of mission screen. Again, translations. Horse bestiary unlocks now actually gives you bonuses. Fixed pets having mount talent grow, granting additional talents over the max level of 25. Pets are only supposed to get to level 25, so the dogs, the cats, the chicken, sheep, and horses, those are the pets. They only gain like 25 levels, and there was an issue where they could collect more levels. This has now been fixed. Homestead mission removed the gold requirement and updated the recommended tier to tier 2 to better reflect what you need to actually finish this mission. The high tier troughs have their durability increased. Good. Fix the striker / stalker type and added striker bestiary, where it was apparently still called added stalker instead of striker. Good. Added a reminder control for standing or dismounting. Not sure what they mean here though. Add translatable text for close button on mount. Again, translations, good. Fix fishing tree vertical position. Yeah, if I remember correctly, indeed it was not properly aligned vertically. So they fixed that. Move the bovine harness talents blueprint to the arranging station. Yes, I noticed this week. The pack saddle, the bovine harness, was still on the textiles bench and it was not in the ranching station. It now has been moved to go with all the other saddles. Again, this one we talked about before, we're not sure what it meant. The character level on the top left of the space menu, showing the incorrect level. Space menu. Okay. So there's your answer, Echo. To which menu? It's the space menu. So I assume character select.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
Fix new deep ore resource not being selected by role. So they added them, but they didn't add them to the table proper. This has now been fixed. Again, only for new open worlds.
Yep.
Added eating sounds to the tamed desert wolf and added missing attack movement audio. Desert wolf being hyena, by the way.
Yeah.
Potential fix for the mounts tames not being able to move after being taken down to the prospect in exotic part. Talked about that one before. Adjusting the desert hyena wolf to play the correct hyena audio rather than the standard wolf one. Small balance tweaks to hyena audio. Fix for transport pod effects not turning off on clients. This might be the issue where the engine kept running, so to say.
Yeah.
You keep seeing the lights, very annoying. I hope that's what they fix now, because it's annoying.
Yeah.
Some other application issues on transport pod fixed, good. Fix a bug where the mount tooltip wouldn't clear its modifier list and would sometimes show modifiers from other mounts. That's going to be annoying. I think, why don't you, where's all your stamina? You should have this food modifier.
Yeah, it happens to have jumped to the mount right. Yeah, and it jumps to the mount right next to it. It's like, what?
Yeah. Fix a bug where you would continue to see the modifier updates from mounts you'd previously ridden above the health bar of a different currently ridden mount. Basically the same as the one above, I reckon. Mounts and tames will now stay wet for a period of time after leaving the water, as is for players already, now also for the mounts and tames. Good. Fix the exploit sheep shearing for unlimited XP. Reduce the angle of the sheep's look at, so they're no longer twisting their neck trying to look at you. Shearing a sheep will now grant the correct sheep experience. Not sure which experience it was before, but sheep experience. Fix some replication related issues where movement state wasn't being set on clients. It was causing the sheep's feet to slide a lot when walking around for clients. Moonwalking sheeps.
Yeah, see that in quite a few animals actually.
Yep. Forest wolves and boars can now only be trapped in the forest and the grassland biomes, so you no longer can trap a boar in the Arctic. Arctic wolves, on the other hand, can only be trapped in the Arctic biome, and hyenas only be trapped in the desert or the volcanic biomes.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah, I still have to tame myself, catch and tame myself a couple of hyenas. Add to list, tame hyena. Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember that desert mission that we were on? I think it was with Gizmo at the time and Carl, where we had like 9 or 10 hyenas attack the base in one go, and it split them between us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyone order epoxy?
Exactly. Fix the issue with a new mount behavior buttons having separate interactable checkboxes that weren't linked to the button itself. So you could select the option you wanted but didn't actually do something. Glad they fixed that.
Yeah.
Once again, build validation error, which has been fixed so we could actually get the build. Thank you. Adding missing swimming notify to the desert wolf hyena thing. Very descriptive.
Yep. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. It's that desert wolf hyena thing.
Exactly. Juvenile creatures are no longer recorded if they are not currently being tamed. This fixes the accumulation of juvenile creatures across the map over time. Yes, you see a lot of juveniles walking around on their own.
Yeah, or you see one adult with 3 juveniles.
That's usually when you kill the parent and then they get adopted, but yeah. There is
Yep.
this one location in my Styx open world where there's always, almost always, a juvenile moa standing just on its own, just standing there. This should now be fixed as well. Good.
Cool.
Fixing dirt frame ramp images and the elixir and remedy images. Good. We want the correct icon so we know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Fixing crash when opening the crafting menu. I've seen this one in the Discord as well. Very annoying. You want to craft something and your game crashes. Glad they
Yeah,
fixed that.
yeah. You'd have to say, "Oh, I'm gonna craft that for me," because if I do it, you're all getting kicked out.
Yeah. Fixed build breaking because early access DT table. Again, glad they fixed it.
Yeah.
Otherwise we couldn't play the game. Fix seams on both the frame and the ramp, as well as fix the DM for the ramp. So the audio, so I reckon this is the dirt ones.
Mm-hmm.
A small balance pass of stick grab pickup, stick equip, and stick equip third person for better cohesion. The next one, chicken coops no longer snap to the surface normal during placement, and slightly lower the chicken coops into the ground during placement. If there's even a very tiny gap between the ramp of the chicken coop and the ground it's standing on, chickens couldn't get into the coop.
Ah.
It's very annoying. You had to pick up and replace the coop several times before you got like exactly in the right position. Lowering the chicken coop into the ground slightly means also lowering the ramp, so it clips into the ground a little bit now, so the chicken coop should be reachable now. Good.
Good.
Fix a bug where cats and dogs could get higher level than 25. This one was a little bit above as well. Pets only go to level 25 while tames go to a higher level. Added the growth curve row to the mounts. DT. Higher levels take longer to get. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
When shoveling sand, you get now sand and no longer 5 shovels. Good. It is an exploit to gain iron ingots though. Shovel sand and get 5 shovels, which you then can break up for resources. Hey, I don't need those resources. I want the sand to make the glass. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sand, by the way, is only in the desert and the volcanic biome. Just saying.
Well, that makes sense. That's where you see the sand.
Yeah. Fix an issue when new bandage animations weren't being loaded from soft object reference, so you couldn't play them. So good. Modify the wood burner recipe to use steel instead of iron. So yes, definitely not infantry craftable. Steel is a tier 2 material nowadays because you can smelt them in the stone furnace since the last couple of
Updates.
patches.
Yeah.
So yeah, tier 2 item craftable in the
Mm-hmm.
it's a tier 2 item itself, so yeah. As long as you don't need steel screws, because that is a tier 3 item. Just saying. Fix the issue where the shovel would both dig up resources and spawn a hole for planting on right or left click. Left click now collects resources, while right click digs a hole. And either of them, both of them, knock snow off your roof. Like I said,
Excellent.
it'll tell you which mouse button does what.
Yeah.
Left click, you get resources, dirt, sand, snow. Right click digs a hole, i.e. creates a mound with a D.
Yeah, but now you can knock the snow off your roof.
This was since long ago when they introduced the shovel. It always has been able to knock snow off the roof.
Yeah, but now either button will do it no matter what.
Yeah. Fix some typos in the new content. Not in the patch notes about the new content, but in the new content itself.
Okay.
We just call it New Zealand spelling. So the new Bennett loop, a couple of adjustments to the timing and the audio placement. So it's synchronous. Fixing dirt ramp and foundation stability numbers and tiers so they aren't destroyed in easy and medium storms. So if you have an open world on easy, the storms there shouldn't damage your dirt stuff unless you have the in easy mode very rare hard storm. I'm not sure you even get those. I think it's only easy and medium what you get in the easy mode open world. Updated the dirt build and buildings itemable to mention to actually tell you they need to be placed attached to the terrain. So if people now say I didn't know, it's yeah you didn't read. Fix kitchen bench not being able to be snapped to a corner piece correctly. This has been fixed after been fixed on experimental, so it's proper in the normal branch. Fixing issue, the same here. Fix issue where measuring bench was not craftable. When attempting to craft it would produce a kitchen bench. The same with the advanced kitchen corner, giving you a normal kitchen corner. All noticed and fixed on experimental. Fix spoil timers were not being formatted and presenting no numbers after the last commit. When they were working on, I reckon, on converting them to hours and minutes. Splint modifier text has been changed. It now tells you like you have to use this to fix your broken leg. It was still saying like this will reduce the healing time of your broken leg by 50%, thus implying it would heal over time.
Yeah.
That changed it. Good. Fix horse walk speed being extremely low. Yeah, I don't know. Future-proof movement speed of mounts to ensure stat changes affect the mount correctly, and I'm talking about like talents and stuff. Talents, foods. Rescaled some of the mount speeds, other than horse's walk speed, which was extremely slow and fixed already, and Tusker sprint speeds. The increases are all close to normal. Slight reduction on the Moa sprint speed though, but with the talents these are still by far the fastest. Yeah, I've talented out the Moa for stamina and speed. It is nice. Fix experience display for mounts not disappearing, together with the other stats not disappearing. Fix aggressive and passive creatures shown on open world drop selection being flipped. So think, okay, I'm gonna find me a zone with a lot of passive creatures and very few aggressive creatures. But those selections were flipped. So you would land in the volcanic biome, for example.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oopsie, that's not good.
Yep. Fix chickens not burning food after having the minus consumption talent. After rereading it a couple of times, I'm like, okay, so chickens have a talent which reduces the food consumption, so they eat less. But there was an issue after you added the talent. it didn't use up its food in its stomach at all, so it never became hungry again. This has
Ah,
now been fixed.
okay.
It took me a couple of times reading this one before I came to this conclusion, though. Initially, I was like, okay, what are they talking about here? But after reading a couple of times, this is what I came up with.
Yeah, so it would maybe be clearer if it read fixed chickens not consuming food.
Yeah. So also made the food consumed per minute to the per hour and oxygen and water consumption just because of shared function, food, water, oxygen, etc.
Okay.
So yeah. Adjustment and fine tune to the bandage, healing animation and sound.
Mm-hmm.
Added leather glove sounds for the end of the animation. Okay. Add missing code change, thank you. Fixed mammoth tusk recipe not granting 400 crushed bone. So and that's why I said they give you 400 crushed bone now.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed hyena sometimes getting stuck and not being able to attack. Yeah, like I've seen quite a few people complain about this. Like hyenas just basically freeze and stand there,
Yeah.
just wait to be killed. Hyena spawn count in the first stage of Genesis recovery should now be kept and scaled based on difficulty and player count. Genesis recovery. This is the zebra mission, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And yeah, it was quite a tough mission to do solo. I lost one zebra because it got attacked by a scorp, and one because it walked right into my electrified knife just after it was like almost killed by a hyena.
Uh-oh.
So I killed a hyena, and with the last stab, the zebra was like, "Yeah, but the hyena is my friend." So he was trying to prevent me from attacking said hyena. Got hit by the knife, got the electrified damage,
And died.
and perished. So there are 5 zebras in that mission. You do not need to rescue all 5. Basically, the amount of amount of zebras you manage to rescue is the amount of zebras you can use in that mission slash open world slash send up to space to use in another mission slash open world.
Okay.
Slightly increase the health and regen, I assume, of Dribbo. I think Dribbo is actually the Snuffles, but I'm not entirely sure. Tier 4 oxidizer audio added to play when tanks are being filled.
Yeah.
Added consume tonic loop to play for items crafted on the new medicine bench, so the tier 3 variants. So it doesn't sound like an instant press consume, whilst the animation is longer, but only like the sound, like immediately done. Now it's like longer sound.
Mm-hmm.
Animation bench crafted audio and applied overrides for recipes with several overlapping recipe sets. Retaking images for all the kitchen benches. And for the elixirs and concoctions. Added recording of F text through the save game flag on Icarus actors means we won't need as many unique recorder components in the future. Good. More compile errors fixed.
Nice.
Lowered bestiary point requirements on creatures exclusively ordered from orbit. Talked about before. Type and Dirtman Foundation has been fixed. Yeah, the advanced kitchen corner recipe granting the kitchen corner. Like I said before. Fixed food burner being unable to be crafted at higher tier benches. So, you know, since like 2 or 3 weeks, where higher tier benches have all the recipes of the low, actually longer, quite
Mm-hmm.
a few weeks already, able to craft all the recipes from lower tier benches, while wood burner was not added to the machining bench and fabricator. and now it is. Fix antibiotic medicines, now also mentioning the case sickness instead of pneumonia.
Yeah.
Health recovery elixir was not being crafted on its medicine bench, which has been fixed now. Thank you for that. Fix typos in dig, dirt, mount, and in the can UMG text. Fixing aluminum wall using item static instead of item template, causing issues when crafting. Copy and paste issue. Well, I learned in preschool how to paste. The copy I let it do by copier, which was slightly after preschool though. But okay,
Okay.
just saying. Fix a bug where mounted NPC movement was stuttering for clients when accelerating. Talked about before.
Yeah.
Several changes to improve visibility of flashlights in first person, and all lights when mounted. Yeah, with the lantern, I really don't have much of an issue. But I have seen a post somewhere or a comment somewhere in Discord where like people are like, yeah, you know, the flashlight was always off to the side. Finally, they point straight forward again, so now they're more usable again. So good. Talking about copy paste issue, here's another one. It's a copy and paste issue because it's like copy and paste of the above issue. Issue 3 bullet points above.
Yep.
Adding back in steel roof variations. Talked about before. Correct. PM has been added for the dirt ramp blueprint. Dirt ramp blueprint so the footsteps play dirt and not stone.
As mentioned before.
Literally mentioned before.
Yeah.
Adding
Copy paste
bandage.
issue maybe.
I think so. Adding bandage steer audio into the loop event, so if the player stops the healing process, the audio also stops, indicating that it hasn't finished healing and also not consumed the item.
Yeah.
Updated deployable coal burner mesh indestructible. Coal burner, not a wood burner. Okay.
Or a wood stove.
Yeah. Adding deployable ceiling light exposed, single wall light, and exposed variants, and the setup of them in the blueprints and the deployable setup table. Adding frosted wall and ceiling lights. Okay. But I think we have to apply the other bullet point earlier where they said like feature locked because the messages aren't ready yet
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait. However, we will be getting frosted wall and ceiling lights. Okay. Might be nice for an Arctic base though.
Yeah.
Add a destructible mesh and camera to the stone cairn blueprint. Good. And also added audio for when an animal has been added to a cairn. So basically finishing off the cairn. Then a couple of future contents, not a whole lot this time though.
Oh.
But yeah. Roof peak pyramid glass will be coming. Added a trap black wolf deployable with animations.
That's alpha. That the black wolf. That's the alpha wolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So will we be able to trap and then tame alpha wolves as well? I want a bunch of those around my base.
Oh, that would be good.
I know, right? And what do you think about the ice mammoth? Or are these going to be like special traps we have to use a passage to craft? There's also
Maybe you have
possibility.
to use mammoth tusks to build it.
Yeah, but that would then cause. So either it's you can trap and tame the black wolf and ice mammoth, or you have to use a vestige for a slightly different variation of a trap. I hope it's the first. I'm afraid it's the latter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Storm Striker talent. Currently
Ooh,
marks as development, is not implemented, but Storm Striker talent. Huh.
Storm Stalker.
Sorry, Storm Stalker, yeah. Is this like you're less like less less threat whilst in a storm or so? I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would definitely indicate less damage from a storm.
Yeah,
But Storm Stalker, maybe a new animal.
is it talent?
Oh, talent. Yeah. Okay.
So
Available in, can be implemented on any biome.
yeah, I don't know.
That would be a good one.
Yeah,
Rather than you having to go all the way down to the bottom of the tree to get the smaller debuff from storm damage per biome.
yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's see. Edit. Adding bee bestiary events. I thought bees were already in bestiary, although I've never actually checked for it, but okay. And here, force 3 regrowth command argument as a test for internal devs, so they're definitely working on 3 regrowing. Good.
Yeah.
Dibbo bestiary traits. If this is the snuffles, then I wonder how many snuffles you have to kill to get
Yeah.
to like unlock all of the snuffles in bestiary. Again, I'd have to check the bestiary to see whether or not snuffles is in there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's basically it.
Yeah, we're getting different kind of pillars there.
Yeah, iron, thatch, wood. Another wood was wood
Iron.
and wood
Yeah.
internal wood, refined wood. But yeah,
Okay. And below we have a blank one.
yeah.
So, feel free
I.e.
to
to be
just scribble
continued.
one in there.
Yep. So
And
yeah,
that,
these were the patch notes.
yeah, that brings us to the end of this week's patch notes. That was another long one, a major update.
Yeah.
Watch your eyes, peeps. I'm going to scroll quite quickly. Okay. I have to be up first thing, so I can't join the gameplay, but Gao will be taking a break. BREAK, not BRAKE. Bit of Dutch spelling there, maybe. We will be back on Monday night for more base building, I believe.
Yep.
And I will be there because I'm not at work, but I can't stay long because I'm working Tuesday because it's a bank holiday. So there is an upside and a downside, but that's what it is. So we'll go with what we get, won't we?
Exactly.
So we'll make it work. We'll definitely make it work. So we will see you Monday for some more base building in the open world with the new characters. Guy will be back shortly on his Twitch stream. Until then, it's good night from me.
And good night from her.
And we will see you on Monday night. And until then, remember, peeps, it is a dangerous world out there, so please take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.